Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Misao, and welcome to a long-awaited video. This is the Prisoner and Paper Airplane, or Paperplane, or whatever it's called, explanation video. So this is going to be about the Vocaloid song, Prisoner and Paper Airplane. So, this is more just going to be talking about the music, so, rather than an actual storyline. However, I'm sure there are probably explanation videos out there on the storyline. However, well, of course, because it's fairly popular, I think. So, the song, Prisoner is basically about this prisoner, whom is named number 420, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that's his name, which I'm pretty sure we can find here. Yeah, number 420, or the boy over the fence. So he is the main character of the song Prisoner. However, that could be wrong, as this is about I'm pretty sure Prisoner and Paper Airplane, I think, are more based on they're based, or at least inspired by the songs, but they're I think this is also its own separate thing, because there is there's the songs Prisoner and Paper Airplane, there's the novel, and there's the manga. They're I think their own series. They're loosely connected, but I think are more just their own things. Yeah. Yeah, so there's that. So basically the explanation of the song, we're going to start out with the song Prisoner, and then we're going to talk about Paperplane. I call it Paper Airplane a lot, but it's actually just called Paperplane. So according to this, the Prisoner song tells the tale of a boy in the prison. His name is number 420, of course, and one day he saw a girl who passed by the prison. Now, the prison, judging that by the music video, it looked, I don't know if this is actually where the boy is located, but there's I'm of course gonna put a warning here for stuff about Nazis, so I think you might know where this is going. So judging by the music video, I'm pretty sure the prison is, in fact, one of the Nazi concentration camps for Jewish people, more specifically Auschwitz, which is not great. And I have another connection to make on that, which I'll touch on later. But for now, talking about the song, so one day, of course, the boy number 420, he sees a girl who passes by the prison, and that girl's name, if we can look over here, I don't know if this is carried over into the songs, but her name is Ruri. She's the girl over the fence. So this girl, Ruri, will pass by the prison from time to time, and one day decides to send him over a paper plane, or the boy decides to send her a paper plane, and then before long they become friends, and he ends up falling in love with her. But one day, unfortunately, the girl had to move away, which left him in despair, and unfortunately, one night, all of his paper airplanes were ripped to shreds by prison guards who were laughing at him, mocking him, which led him to get a bit aggressive, leading to him, which by the way was justified, punching the guard in the face, which, fair enough, man, that's pretty justified. I mean, I would probably do the same thing if I was in his situation, but then again, that's just me saying it right now. It would be very different if I was actually there. I might have, moving on. So this action leads him to be taken by the guards into a poison chamber, which is described here. However, it could very well be one of the concentration camp gas chambers. And he would end up being executed in that gas chamber and dying, with the last thing he did was wondering what the girl's name was. So, these songs are quite sad. I would of course put them in like the more disturbing Vocaloid song category due to its themes, and however, it's less like a scary, disturbing song and more of just one that's just just outright sad. And the only thing that makes me think that this is sadder than Daughter and Servant of Evil is that if we go into the lore of Vivelius, which I'm not going to go into all of it right now, but the twins, Rillian and Alan, they do end up reuniting in the afterlife, and they go to the fourth period together, which, if you don't know what that means, then that's okay. Basically, they just go over into a new world together after reuniting in, like, the afterlife. Whereas, I guess it's been shown, actually, I'm not going to get into that. We can talk about this later, but, the song after this that we're going to be talking about is Paperplane, which is over here. So it tells the other side of the story from Ruri's point of view. And meanwhile, back when number 420 it was still in prison, so the Paperplane girl had troubles in the hospital. And it was revealed that that her father was one of the prison guards. Because we can see in the hospital, he told Ruri to stop seeing the boy, and then Ruri ended up having to go away, which I think basically means that her condition started to get worse. As for what her condition was, I'm pretty sure, it was something called ACL, I think. If we look it up here, ACL. I'm pretty sure this isn't what I'm looking for. How serious? Anterior. Okay, I think this might be wrong, but I remember someone in a YouTube comment section definitely talked about how this girl Ruri could have potentially had what I think is called ACL. It could be, I think it's an illness, but Google just thought it was like that I was talking about the injury ACL. But this could all just be like misinformation. So I definitely recommend you guys go exploring this for yourself. Because I think it's best to treat what that person said in the YouTube comment section. I'm sure they were probably telling the truth, but I think it's still best to take it with a grain of salt. So basically, before Ruri leaves, number 420 says that he will always wait for her, which I think it was all just incredibly heartbreaking. And then we have Ruri in Ruri ended up staying in the hospital with her father. And she ended up dying, unfortunately, from her illness. It was all just very sad. And then I think it is shown in the music video. It does say here that the two meet again in like the afterlife, where the wall which separated the two ended up disappearing and they were reunited, which I guess at the end, both the Daughter and Servant of Evil storyline, the Prisoner Paperplane storyline, they both did have their happy endings with Rillian and Alan going to the fourth period together of that other world, and number 420 and Ruri meeting up again in the afterlife. So I guess they do have their bittersweet endings. Yeah. So yeah, the songs, they're both really good. I do recommend checking them out. But yeah, the songs, they're fire. Let's be real, man. They're both really sad, but I think Prisoner, in my opinion, was just straight up fire. That was a good song. Maybe not something you'd hear like a nightclub or like Travis Scott concert, but they're still really good. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. It is a bit short because there's not really much to talk about here, unless you want to go into the Prisoner Paperplane, like full on, like all their series, and try to explain it. I guess I can talk about the characters, but we'll only be talking about number 420 and Ruri. All these other characters, they're not really crucial to, like, they're not really important to the music, which is really the whole point of this video here. We're only really talking about the music because I'm personally not trying to get into all of this. It looks great in my opinion, but yeah, and I'm sure I would enjoy it if I, like, got into it, but the purpose here, I really just want to talk about the music. And it feels like all of this other stuff doesn't really have to do with the music, which, no shade, of course, to Shu Jin-P, which I'm pretty sure is the guy who made the series. But it's just me personally, really. Like, I'm sure that this series is great, but I personally can't really connect with characters when they're not really tied back to its source material. I think it's definitely different with stuff like Marvel, where despite despite being inspired by the source material, which is the comic books, I'm still able to connect with the characters because they're still, like, fleshed out well, and they're still faithful in many ways to their original counterparts. Plus, I grew up with Marvel, so I guess I can't really make a comparison to here. But yeah, but enough about that. That's not really important. Let's read about the characters. So first off, number 420, who is the boy over the fence. So number 420 is the main character of the novel, and one of the main characters of the song. His real name is not revealed, even up until his death, but everyone addresses him as number 420, with the exception being Ruri. And Meika, who is over here, Meika Faros. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name. So the story is told from his point of view, with the novel being written in first person, and number 420 narrates his life there in the prison up until he was executed at the end of the novel. In the novel, he's a rather polite and innocent boy. He's somewhat a curious person who always wonders and is rather negative. Though it's to be expected, for he's a prisoner. That makes sense. Yeah. In the epilogue, which is his execution time/death, it was revealed that he was 15 years old. And as for his physical appearance, number 420 is shown to have blonde hair and emerald eyes, and he's based off the Vocaloid Kagami Len. In the song, he is voiced by said Vocaloid. Then we have Ruri, who is the girl over the fence, who is number 420's love interest in the novel. She made her first appearance by the end of chapter 1, where number 420 instantly fell in love with her. Not much is known about the girl, as many of the things number 420 said and talked about are rather trivial, and they rarely talk about themselves. Like number 420, her name was not revealed in the novel, and he had always addressed her as you over the fence, or that girl. In the upcoming novel Prisoner Paperplane Girls Aporia site, it was revealed her name is Ruri. And although number 420 often talks about her details on Ruri are very vague, and after 4 months on sending paper airplanes with number 420, she bid him farewell and vaguely stopped seeing him. A matter of role and appearances, Meika or even non-Vocaloid characters such as Shazna and Rivme make more appearances compared to Girl. Yeah, those characters aren't here. But they're kind of irrelevant here. So, as for her physical appearance, the girl over the fence is shown to have blonde hair and sapphire eyes, who is also described as wearing a pendant, which we can see in the image here. That's her pendant. Kind of reminds me of a sword, or like one of those Yokai Watch keystones, or whatever they're called from Yokai Watch Shadowside. She's based off of the Vocaloid Kagami Ren, and in the song Paperplane, she's voiced by said Vocaloid. And more information should be available in the girls' version of the novel Prisoner Paperplane Girls Aporia, due on November 2012, which was 13 years ago, I'm pretty sure. Damn. Yeah. And then we have the other characters, Chimera Flag, who is based on Kaido, and although they were simply each other, Chimera is not Kaimu from the Prisoner series. Okay, so Prisoner series and Prisoner Paperplane are kind of different. And he is Maluka's possible love interest, and Shoujo Aporia, it's revealed that he is Ruri's elder brother. Interesting. Then we have Maluka Keyside, who is based off of Megurine Luca, and she is Chimera's possible love interest. And then there's Meika Pharaohs. I guess we can continue reviewing the characters. I mean, the video isn't necessarily that long. Like, it's still, like, shorter than my Plants vs. Zombies videos, so we can keep covering this. It's fairly interesting. Meika Pharaohsu is one of the main supporting characters of the novel. She, along with Chimera in number 420, were one of the first characters to be introduced in the novel. Meika Pharaohs made her first appearance on the first chapter of the novel, and met number 420, whom she addresses as anonymous/unknown, on his first day in prison, which is April 21st. On his way to work, she's also a prisoner, interesting, and her prison number name is 144. Even so, number 420 still addresses her as Meika. Although number 420 doubted Meika at first, after she started a rather small conversation, he realized Meika was a kind person. She gave him bread, which was enough evidence for number 420 to say she isn't a bad person, and that he shouldn't have doubted her. She's shown to be somewhat outgoing and friendly from the conversation. As for her physical appearance, as shown from the book's illustrations, Meika has a short brunette hair with green eyes. Meika wears a short black dress over a dusty old lab coat and black shoes. On the official site's description, it said that her position is inmates, or in prison. She's based off the Vocaloid Mako. Interesting. Then there's Lolo Rorelite. Is one of the prisoners in the novel's prison. He's introduced in Chapter 2 as a side character. He has no large role whatsoever, and only appeared once in the scene where he had a conversation with number 420. He's in the same cell with Shizuna, another non-Vocaloid character, who had troubles with number 420 before, as mentioned in Chapter 1. His main profile in the novel described Lolo as an Ikemen, a term meaning very handsome man / hot guy, with the prison number 3. As for his physical appearance, it's also described to be a pink, semi-long hair man. However, in his promotional video of the novel, he's also shown to have yellow eyes, much like the original Roro. Lolo is based from Mambo no Ane's, I'm sorry if I'm butchering these words, it's based from their VY2 design, Roro, on the VocaFest event. So, so here we can go into the summary. So let's start with that. So the story starts on April 21st with number 420, I guess, narrating the story. And it's briefly talked about the existence of happy ends. When negatively thinking about the world. Number 420, his real name is not yet revealed, was then led to a cell by Chimera, where he found a blanket and walls of ceramic. 2 new non-Vocaloid characters were introduced. Rhythm Garcha and Shazna Ivory, with whom tried to hurt number 420 to the point where he is shown to cry. He met Meika afterwards. Number 420 was about to go to work, and wondered, since his previous encounter didn't go so well, whether Meika was a good person or a bad person. We chatted for a while, and the conversation eventually led to food. Meika asked whether he was hungry and wanted food, and number 420 said yes. And with that, Meika gave him bread. Number 420 concluded the fact, thanks to the little chat, and when she gave him bread to eat, that Meika was someone he could trust, and she wasn't a bad person, and she was a good person. Well, yeah. By the end of the day, it was horrible. He cursed himself, saying he'll surely die on his first day in prison as number 420, until he met a girl on the other side of the fence. Then there's Chapter 2 and 3, which unfortunately haven't been added here yet. It seems that this page was forgotten, left to just stay here. And then we have Shujin Tokami Hikoki Shoujo Aporia. Hopefully I said that right. So Vocaloid characters, you of course have Ruri, number 420. And then there's Picado Perdando, who was Ruri's father, and also possibly Kai Merle's. Inventors Leah Kylo, who is based on the Vocaloid Ia, and she is Ruri's teacher and friend, who goes along very well with Dr. Hal and Kai Merle. Then there's a third book that's said to be coming soon of the novel entitled Uricata Antimony, which I'm pretty sure is already out because this thing was probably last edited 2012. And then there's the Prisoner Paperplane Shonen Paradox, which will have a manga adaptation, and then there's songs, Prisoner Paperplane. So I guess we can cover these because because they're briefly explained. So yeah, let's do that. So a boy, number 420, was one of the main prisoners, and he encountered a beautiful girl, Ruri, who appeared on the other side of the barbed wire fence one day. He was fascinated by her, so he decided to write her a letter one day, folding it into a paper plane and sending it over the fence, hoping that she would answer. His prayers being granted, his letter was given a reply. On a daily basis, they would meet for a brief moment and fly a paper plane across the wall. He found joy in his life just by getting letters from her, though he never conveyed his feelings for her. One day, the mysterious girl told him she would head off somewhere far and bid farewell to him. Though there's an explanation, there's an explanation, which is in the next song. So as she went away, he kept all her letters and treasured them dearly until one of the generals and his henchmen decided to torment the young man by making fun of his attachment to the letters. They went as far as to tear the letters, which triggered his anger, and he punched the general. The men decided to put him into the gas chamber to die. In the room, he began to struggle to get out with the thought of seeing the girl once more and asking her name. It is not made clear in the video whether he died or not, but Paperplane does indeed confirm his fate. And then we have Kami Hikoki, which is Paperplane. Hopefully I said all these right. I'm sorry if I didn't. I'm not good with pronunciation. So the song is a reply to a prisoner, but in the point of view of Ruri, whom a boy, number 420, had fallen for. In the video, she was the daughter of one of the generals in charge of the prison compound where he was in, whose name is Perdando. So I guess we can confirm with this that Ruri's last name is Perdando, and possibly Kai Merle's as well. I think. Did it say his name? His last name is Flag. So if I had to guess, Picado might not be his biological father, and he could have possibly been adopted or as a stepchild. So she went to meet number 420, and flied him a paper plane, which was a response letter, even though she suffered from a terrible illness, which was never clarified in the story. She eventually fell for him, but as soon as she did, her father found out about her affair and forbid her to go out of the hospital and meet the boy. As time went by, Ruri got weaker and weaker, and her ears got hard of hearing, and moving her legs proved to be very difficult for her. So these are symptoms. So she then decided to bid farewell to the young man properly, so he would not have to ponder over what happened to her. She made an excuse that she would be going somewhere far away, but as soon as she was about to leave, he told her that he would wait for her and that he would treasure each and every letter she gave him. As the story went on, it was shown that Picado was the one who put the young man in even more agony by ripping the letters from him. He was also the one who gave the order to execute him. The girl, on the other hand, is already paralyzed from the illness, as she couldn't even grasp one of his letters. However, seeing how devoted she has become to the young man, Picado picked up the letter and placed it in her hand as a final act of kindness to his dying daughter. She was smiling when she died. In heaven, she is in front of the barbed wire wall, the very same wall that she stood at when she first met number 420. It is then shown that on the other side he is there, and then the wall disappears. With that, they find true happiness by being with each other in their own world. So it's a very sad story, and I'm gonna Google again ACL. So ACL illness. Okay, so what is this? So an ACL injury is a tear sprain of the anterior cruciate ligament, one of the strong bands of tissue that help connect your thigh bone to the femur. Interest more commonly occur during sports and follow sense stop charges. Yeah, okay. So I'll mostly leave in the description of the video or no, I just I've kind of giving up on finding what this is, because yeah, I honestly don't know. If anyone wants to leave in the comments section like what this potential illness is, then that'd be very appreciated. So I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy them, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as that would be very much appreciated. And until next time, peace out, y'all, because that next time will be tomorrow, or the day after. Monday will be the Spider-Verse video. It will be the number one, the 138 Hobby Brown Spider-Punk video. So that'd be cool. Until next time, peace out, y'all.